Hey everyone, this is Mitch from Castro Valley Fitness with this week's Friday workout. We've done a bunch of different kind of workouts so far during this little situation here. Today we're going to go back to the basics, okay? We're going to try to build or maintain strength, okay? When we're working out at home with a kind of a lack of equipment, it might be hard to build strength depending on kind of where you are. But we can do everything we can to at least maintain it, or maybe even build it depending on what you have, where you've been in your training, and those types of things. So we're going to get started with a nice, good, basic, full body strength workout today. Get started in just 1 second. Okay, so here's where the first part of the challenge comes in. I want you to find something in your house. If you don't have any exercise equipment, I'm sure you got a backpack. I'm sure you have a gallon or like a jug of laundry detergent or milk or something like that. I want you to get some weight going. Anything you can have that's heavy, okay? A backpack is really nice because you can load stuff in the backpack. Everyone's got a tote bag or a backpack or something you can load up. I want you to hold that, whatever that is, like this, kind of bear hugging it. Kind of see that from the side. And we're going to start off with squats. I want you to get as heavy as you can, and I want you to see if you can get somewhere between 8 and 12 squats with as heavy as you can hold on to, okay? So we're going to hold that weight right in front of us. We're going to pull it in. I'm not just kind of letting it sag. I'm pulling it in, and I'm just going to do a nice good old squat. Pushing my hips back, down, coming back up, okay? We all know how to squat. We're all good at that. If you followed me, you know how important that is. If you've seen this week's video, you know how important that is. So, again, load that weight up, okay? We are going to do 4 sets of somewhere between 8 and 12 reps, and that will depend on the weight that you have available to you, okay? Okay, the next exercise we're going to do is push-ups, okay? So what you're going to do here, find a spot on the floor. I have a bench set up. I will show you how to do that. If the floor is a little challenging for you, we're going to do it on a bench or on a chair or a table, whatever you have available to you at home. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown on the push-up. As always with a push-up, my hands are not just sitting on the floor. I'm grabbing the floor with my hands. I want to make sure my body is nice and straight. Remember, push-ups are a core exercise first, okay? They are a strength exercise for your upper body, but they are a core exercise first, okay? So you want to get yourself set up in a nice flat, good core position, a core stabilized position. Want to grab the floor with your hands, try to pull that floor apart. So you notice what happens to my arms when I do that. This is when they relax. This is when I'm grabbing the floor and pulling it apart. You see how that my elbows kind of come down a little bit, and I start to feel it through my upper back here, so I can stabilize and I can lower myself down by pulling myself down. So I'm not thinking about resisting going down. I'm thinking about actively pulling myself into the floor. And by doing that, I'm getting my core involved, keeping my body nice and straight. Okay, so we're going to do some push-ups there. Again, if the floor is a little challenging for you, you can do it with your hands. Move the camera over a little bit. You can do it with your hands on a bench like I have right here. You can use a table, you can use a chair, whatever works. But I want you to be able to get down all the way. Okay, so find something that works for you, and we're going to do a set of as many as you can. We're going to do 4 sets, as many as you can of push-ups, okay? All right, the next thing we're going to do, we call a kind of a circuit or a tri-set. Basically, it's 3 exercises in 1 set. So we're going to do 1 exercise, go right into the next exercise, right into the next exercise, take a short rest, and then repeat them all again. So first exercise we're going to do, we're going to grab our handy-dandy backpack once more, pull it into that bear hug position, and we're going to do what I call a kind of front good morning or a bear hug good morning, however you want to refer to it is fine. I'm going to get my feet pretty much right where they were for my squats, so you know, a little wider than shoulder width or so. And all I'm going to do here is hold that bag, and I'm actively pulling that bag, and I'm just going to push my hips back, come back up, and squeeze my butt a little bit. Push my hips back, come back up. So see that from the side. Notice how all the movement is coming from my hips, okay? Pushing back, back is staying straight, come back up. Usually I will look straight ahead as I do this. So notice what's happening with my hips. My hips are where the action is. My back is not where the action is. So if I'm looking at someone from the side and I see the hips stop moving and the back start rounding. That's not what I want. I want the hips going back. What I tell people is pay attention to your hip movement. When the hips stop moving, that's as far as you go. Come back up from there, okay? Because once the hips stop moving, any movement from this point on is going to come right from my low back, which is exactly what I want to avoid, okay? So this movement, you're working on your entire posterior chain, your upper back, your low back, your glutes, and your hamstrings. All the good stuff that we want to work on. So you're going to do 3 sets of 8 to 10, something like that with the good mornings. After that, we're going to go split squat. So for split squat, what we want to do here, we want to get a nice long stride together. Most of our weight we want on our front heel. We're going to keep our eyes up nice and tall. We're just going to go down and up, just like that. Okay, so notice how this knee does not kick forward. Okay, we don't want that movement. That's why we want to keep the weight on our heel. Down and up so the knee kicks there. If I see the weight going onto the toe, what I'm going to see is this knee going like that, which I don't want. So just down and up right there. Okay, if those are a little challenging for you, what you can do is reverse lunges. Sometimes can be a little easier where you're stepping back, then coming back up. We still want to keep that weight on the front heel. If that's a little challenging, then what we're going to do is just a one-leg stand, where you're just standing on one leg, holding that for 30 seconds. Okay, so those are the 3 different variations of that you can do. And then after that, so that's the second exercise of the triple. After that, we're going to do what we call hook-lying reverse presses. So what you're going to do there, this is more of a kind of a mobility type of a movement for your upper back and your shoulder blades. You're going to lie on the floor, knees bent. You're going to make kind of goal posts with your arms. Make sure you start with your arms at about a 45-degree angle so your shoulders are nice and relaxed. If you start with tension in your shoulders here, you're shot before you've even started. So, nice relaxed position here. All we're going to do is very slight movement. You're just going to push your shoulder blades into the floor and relax. Push your shoulder blades into the floor and relax. So what we're looking for there, it's obviously a very small movement, but all we're trying to get is just a little bit of a retraction in your shoulder blades, which helps you kind of get that position down, which is very good for your upper back and your shoulders and your neck, which we do not want. We don't want that tension up there. So this is going to help with that, okay? So those are the 3 exercises. You're going to go good morning with the backpack. You're going to go either split squat, reverse lunge, or one-leg stand. And then you're going to do the hook-lying reverse presses, okay? Do 3 sets. The first 2 exercises you're going to do between 8 and 10 reps for the good mornings and the split squats, reverse lunges. If you're going to do the one-leg stand, hold that for 30 seconds. For the hook-lying reverse presses, you're going to do 15 reps of those. Okay, then we're going to finish with a nice little core exercise, very basic plank, okay? It's a very basic exercise. We do these a lot, but they're an exercise that a lot of times people don't quite get their position right on. So what we want to do when we're planking is a couple things I want you to focus on. First of all, in our setup, we want to make sure our elbows are right under our shoulders, okay? Just here. We don't want our elbows forward of our shoulders. Watch what happens to my hip position. If my elbows come here, then my butt's going to come up off the ground like that, okay? And the reason for that is those elbows come up. People kind of use that as compensation because they don't have the strength in their core. They don't want to use their core. So they want to use their arms and their shoulders, which they are used to using. We want to get away from that. We want to strengthen here, not just add to that tension in your shoulders with that position, okay? So that's the first step. Make sure the elbows are right under your shoulders and your back is flat to the ground. How do I know my back is flat to the ground? I am breathing nice and deep right into my belly as I'm holding this plank. And I'm concentrating on how it feels. Okay, a lot of people, they concentrate on how it looks. They don't concentrate on how it feels. So they're looking for a mirror, they don't understand, they're not trying to feel the position. When you take a nice good breath in that position, you should feel your shoulders relax. You should feel your core working. That's how you know you're in a good position. If you're doing a plank and you feel tension in your shoulders, that means most likely your hips are up here and the arms and the neck and the shoulders are doing the work instead of the core. If you feel tension in your lower back, that usually means that you're actually sagging. And all of that weight is just going right into your low back, which is not what we want there either. So we're going to hold that plank for about 30 to 45 seconds, whatever you can do there. And again, same thing with the push-ups. If you can't do it on the floor and hold that position, we're going to put our arms on a bench, a table, a desk, whatever you got. And we're just going to hold that position right there. Same things apply, okay? We want those same things to apply. So we're going to, again, 3 sets, about 30 to 45 seconds there. That's this week's Friday workout. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.